Welcome to Full Circle Podcast. I'm Josiah, and today we are here at Thompson Studios, and we're here to just ask some questions. We're part of the Circle Keepers for you all to know. The Circle Keepers trains youth as restorative justice practitioners, researchers, and artists, activists. They advocate for desegregation and equality in youth voices in schools. I would like to introduce you to Sasha Fierce. This is our talking piece, and we love her, we care for her, and we cherish her. We would also like to thank our partners, Parents Helping Parents. So I'll just give it away to
Noura.
Noura.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Noura, and I'll be doing the introductions. First, let me explain to you what a talking piece is. A talking piece is a part of circles. When you're in a circle, we usually have a talking piece, which is a object that is usually used for, like, when everybody's going around. If you have it, you're the person who is talking. So let's do some quick introductions. So everybody, give your name, pronouns, age, your grade, and what restorative justice means to you. And I'll just go first. So my name is Noura. I go by she, her. I'm 14 years old. I'm a freshman at George Westinghouse High School. And restorative justice, to me, to keep it short, being able to advocate for others, being able to speak and support others who don't really have a voice, but also to keep a community, having supporting other communities and being in a community myself. And yeah, so I'm just gonna pass it around in a circle this way.
I'm Aislinn. I'm Aislinn, and I go by she, her pronouns. I'm 13, and I'm in grade 8. Restorative justice to me is using non-punitive practices and methods to help solve issues with the victim and the oppressor without harming them overall and making the situation worse, but getting to the roots of the problem and helping them.
Hi, my name is Orla. I am a 17-year-old high school senior at Mel's from Queens. I go by she, her, and to me, restorative justice is about adapting school environments to take on more restorative methods of conflict resolution instead of depending on punitive discipline, which doesn't really solve the problem or get to the root of the problem. I'll pass it over.
Hi, my name is Emily, she, her pronouns. I'm 15, I'm a 10th grader, and for me, restorative justice means to be able to solve conflicts without the need of using extreme punishments, and as well, to find a middle point where both parts are being being really hurt, and they're able to connect with each other and find a solution for their issue.
Okay, hello. I'm Kira, pronouns anything and everything that exists. I am 16 and like Emily, I am in 10th grade. And what restorative justice means to me, restorative justice is a means of getting down to the roots without having to cause any harm, without having to make the situation worse through acts of violence or just acts of violence in general. But sorry, that's pretty much what restorative justice means to me. Sorry for taking too.
Hi, my name's Josiah. My pronouns are he, him. My age is 13. I'm in 8th grade. What restorative justice means to me is, trying to it's in the word restore our community without using punitive justice as a first response. And we're trying to help without like kind of like help instead of harm. That's kind of like my quote that I always use: help instead of harm, which means to me is like, we're helping each other, we're providing resources to each other instead of trying to hurt each other and taking those away from each other. And we're just all supporting each other as one community instead of trying to break each other apart and be our own one.
Nice. Okay,
That's
the first question.
Next question. What or who makes you feel safe in schools? Um, I'll start with this one since I obviously what or who makes me feel safe in my schools? A lot of people would say friends, but for me, I think it's my restorative justice coordinator. She has been a massive help with me in my school, especially middle school. She's been a massive help as she has guided me through. I used to have anger issues that were really bad, and she has guided me through that so much and helped me evolve from that in so many ways that is I can't even say because it's really unimaginable. And I was actually crying about this like a month ago because I was crying with her, and I was thinking like, wow, she's really helped me a lot. Like I've really evolved a lot from my 5th grade self to my 8th grade self, and I think that it's helped my community, but it's also helped me as they kind of understand my point of view now since I can voice that more nowadays. So yeah, my restorative justice coordinator. Oh, this way?
Oh, this way? Oh, okay. So that question, what or who makes me feel safe in school? Sorry. I mean, I would say my friends, but I would also say like my teachers and like my social worker, I guess. Mainly because like I'm able to talk to them at least. I don't have to really fear them too much, but like I still respect like my teachers and like some people in my school. Sorry.
Mm, who makes me feel safe in school? Those are like my friends, my teacher, but especially my counselor. She's been she's been being a part of my life since like I entered school, and she's the one who's been supporting me in through 10th grade. Um, since I've been always been able to talk to her about my issues, and if I have something that I need help with, I think she's the person that I always can count with.
Nice.
For me, I definitely say my administration, just because, sometimes if let's say you don't have like the biggest friend group, or maybe your friends are in another school and you might not feel like you belong entirely, but having a solid support system within your teachers and your administration who actually care about you and care about your learning, it's really supportive. And because, sometimes if you feel like, oh, these teachers don't care about me, or, oh, people don't want me here, you might not feel motivated to come to school. And so I feel like definitely having supportive teachers is a big part of what makes me feel safe personally.
In my school, certain teachers, whether in the past or like present, help me a lot. Even if I don't have them anymore, I know there's always a safe place for me in their rooms. They've helped me so much growing as a person, and I can tell they really like work hard to make my classmates and me feel at home in school. And they've always had my back. They made me feel safe even when things get really hard.
So for me, I feel like I don't know, cause like my school currently, it's like I find my friends are people who really um make me feel safe, and like my teachers, but like also at the same time, like I feel safe around them. It's just that like sometimes it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like they give me kind of like, oh, I'm so angry at you, I don't want to be like around you anymore, to the point like I don't want to like I can be safe around you in serious situations, but not to the point that I can like share all my feelings with you. Like I have some teachers who like I literally tell them everything, almost everything, right? There's just like some things you just do not want to tell your teacher, but like yeah, like there's other times where like other teachers just don't give me that. But also like my friends, I feel like I have like pretty close friends, but like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Let's go to the second question. What or who makes you feel like you belong in your school? So I'll start off. um I feel like my friends definitely do. Like, even though like some things from my school don't really make like aren't my favorite, I do feel like my friends really help like what do you call it, make me feel like I belong in the school, like I actually enjoy my time there. And so yeah, let's just go this way. So we enter.
Many people in my school make me feel like I belong, like my counselors. But I have to say, it's my friends. They're always there for me, and I feel like whenever I go to school, I know I have somewhere I can just go to. It's like I have a mini home outside of home with my friends, because they know me, they trust me, I trust them. It's a place where it's people that make me feel like I belong. And even my classmates, they can be hard to deal with, but I've been with them for like what, 2 years now. Some of them like 5. Yeah.
I'd say school programming is definitely a big thing for me. Um, I am in my school's orchestra, and I have been throughout high school. And it's just like a really good community to have outside of your classes and outside of like your home life. Um, it's a good space where you can like find people, and they they're interested in the same things, and you're all like working towards a collective goal. So it's like you really get that sense of belonging when you're in that space. And I feel like, to add on about like the last question, and making people feel safe, I feel like a lot of if you ask a lot of parents, some parents might say, oh, well, having things like metal detectors and things like school security will make kids feel more safe in their schools and feel like they belong and feel like they won't be harmed. But in reality, and a lot of what we talk about at the Circle Keepers is police out of schools, right? In reality, I feel like that makes kids feel, unsafe in their schools, because that's pushing the narrative of you're coming to school and people are assuming that you're going to cause trouble. People are assuming that you're going to commit a crime when you come to school. So treating kids like criminals in places that are supposed to be safe and where you're supposed to feel like you belong is absolutely not right, and is not conducive to a school environment.
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Totally agree with you, Orla. For me, what makes me feel that I belong in my school are, my friends. I think they're a really good part of it. Some of my teachers, because they could be really respectful towards you and respect you in every type of way, even with your culture, like how you talk and all that. So I feel that some of my teachers do really respect me in that type of way. And the school workers that are right there in my school, I think they play a really good part in my school life, because they're being respectful towards us. So
Yeah.
Makes me feel like I belong. I would say that my friends do play a very big part in making me feel like I belong in my school. Like last year, I wouldn't be able to answer this question. but through a year of being in my school currently, I have been able to find a group of friends who I can talk to about like some personal issues, not all of them, but like most of them, and I'm able to feel comfortable and like I don't feel like I'm alone in my school anymore thanks to my friends. Like pretty much that's the main reason why I'm still in my school. Yeah.
Um, see, last but not me, last but not least me. Who makes me feel belonged? Who makes me feel like I belong in school? I would definitely have to say my friends, because I feel like even this year especially, not a lot of people know this. I don't share this with a lot of people. This past October, my father did pass away, and during that time, I feel like they were really there for me, and they were really my back support, and my teachers too. But my friends were really there, and they were there for me. So I feel like that was really my safe space. Although I had my mom, they were really there for me, and those are the people that make me feel like I belong, like I'm supposed to be there, like they include me in things, and that makes me feel great. But I would like to pass it back to one of actually my friends, Elena. She just joined us. Just gonna hand this over to her. She just joined us.
So introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself.
So you want to say your name, pronouns, age, grade, and what restorative justice means to you.
Okay. My name is Elena. My pronouns are she, her. I'm 13. I'm in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. To me, restorative justice is really coming together to find the root of an issue within a community and using that community to resolve the issue. I think that a lot of schools resort to punitive justice, which only tells kids that they're inferior and that they don't belong because they're smaller than everybody. And I think that that's just such a outdated way of thinking, and I think that restorative justice is just such an outlet for teachers, staff, kids to be able to speak their mind without having to get suspended or get in trouble because they're saying what matters to them and what is their truth.
No.
Oh no. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
So sorry, she just joined us. It's okay though. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to the third question now. What are the most common issues affecting youth in your school? Okay. I'm glad that I'm answering this question first. Most common issues that's affecting youth in my school. The hard question, because I keep my circle very close.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the mentality rate of my school, and I think it's how kids view themselves as people, because not a lot of people talk about this, and I want to talk about it because the suicide rate, this is kind of getting like very deep and dark, but the suicide rates, especially in schools, middle school and high schools especially, is very, very, very high. Due to them, the stress and them being bullied, I think that suicide is a major factor that isn't focused upon enough in schools. My mom works in the medical field, and she comes home and she talks to me about kids that come into her unit every single day and have thoughts about killing themselves. And it's just that it's not addressed enough. It's addressed, but it's not addressed to the point where students, they stop thinking about this. And I think that's a really harsh part that people don't want to face in schools. and people don't want to look at the statistics and say to themselves, oh my God, this is a real thing that's happening in schools and we really need to change it. They just think, oh, they're just over exaggerating it. No, they're not. These kids are actually going through it in schools every single day, and they don't bring it up to you because they feel that they don't belong or they don't feel safe in their schools. And I think that that's an issue that affects my school especially, because one of my ex-best friends, she was going through it, and it was really sad to see her face that all by herself. And I think that I really wanted to be there, and I know that one of my friends even started blaming themselves for doing that. But no, it was just that they're facing those things in their own life, and they're also facing it at school. It's so much stress for them that they can't take it anymore.
Let's do something different. Let's do it like popcorn style, where everybody could just like speak.
Yeah.
I want to branch off of what you're saying. I feel like schools approach like mental health and like some ways, yeah, it does work, but like I feel like when it's brought to students, it's like to students who don't really like see it, who are like less, I guess, it's not a serious topic or something like that.
Right.
Like I feel like it's brought in a way that students think it's like corny and stuff like that, or they're like, oh, like I don't want to talk about this, or like they just like feel shut off because of how like what do you call it, schools usually respond, because there's like policies about like how like if a teacher hears something, like they have to like tell
Right.
What do you call it,
Mandated
like,
reporting.
yeah, exactly, like they're what do you call it, basically, yeah, exactly. So I feel like what do you call it, if there was just schools made a better way of like implementing like or like approaching these topics without making students feel like, oh, this is weird to talk about, or like I don't want to share this because like, oh, something might happen, like, yeah, I feel like
Right.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like branching off what you're saying, I feel like all of like the mental health crisis, the youth mental health crisis,
Yeah.
also connects to the way that kids are kind of behind on like reading and math scores,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
You know, part of that is because of the pandemic, and kids did get set back. I definitely got set back too. But I feel like definitely the way that kids' problems and teenagers' problems are handled are not adequate, and they're not adequately supporting kids and helping them get back on track and relearn what they lost during that time. And, you know, that leads to a lot of kids acting out in schools, maybe having more behavioral issues and having trouble staying focused. And then that leads to school environments that are less productive, and it makes it difficult for other students. But then the way that schools just like respond to it and suspend those kids for that kind of behavior when they're just trying to like cope with what they're going through and what they're dealing with, especially at home, right? It's really not getting to the root of the problem. It's not helping at all, but they think
Right.
think it is, but they're just setting us back even more than we already are. So I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How did that happen?
To kind of just like stay on topic, I feel like because of students getting suspended and missing in class time, again, that just sets back people even more, as you said. I think that, you know, going off of what Josiah said, I think that even being behind on school is such a major stressor for kids, and it's constantly like nagging. It's like, oh, you're behind on this, so you're going to fail this class, or you're going to fail this marking period.
Right.
That is not helpful to any student. That is just telling students you're not going to be successful. If you fail this one marking period, you're literally not getting a job. That's all it's telling kids. And it's like, I've known far too many people who have been, you know, the main stressor being family and school, and the pandemic, being like the stressor of suicidal thoughts. I think it's terrible because nobody is there telling them that it's not normal to have these thoughts. You need to talk to somebody about this. And therapy is just looked at as such an awkward thing.
It's so frowned upon.
Yeah, it's right.
Yes.
It's insane.
It's like something that's out of the ordinary, not something that is supposed to happen, when all therapy is trying to get help from somebody and trying to be understood as the patient and trying to get those awful, awful thoughts and emotions out when you can to the right people. Because then there's also kids going to other kids about these bad thoughts, and then that just rolls into a whole different thing. And these adults don't notice it, and they don't care to notice it. They really don't try to, because they don't want to think that their child or the child that they're a guardian of has any problems because they're perfect, or they're, they don't need help. That's not the reality. You have to face the harsh reality of, this is what it is, and this is what's happening, and this child needs help. They don't need to be suspended. They don't need to be yelled at. They don't need to be scolded. They need help.
Period.
Like, what do you call it? Okay, so like I want to go back to like the point you made about like if you're like behind on one thing. Like I feel like schoolwork, like my school, we have a new principal, right? What was that reaction? Oh my god.
Oh, you go to Westinghouse, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Guys, what?
Me and Elena, we used to be in the same building, MS 915.
Oh
So
my
that's
God.
why. We had a little bit of beef with your school.
Okay.
But now you're stuck with me.
Yes, now we're stuck with you. Yes, restorative justice.
Okay, so like I want to talk about how like, so I'm in a course, right? I'm not gonna. Okay, either way, I don't really care if they find this. Guys, I'm thinking about my repercussions, and I'm like, it's okay. I'm gonna share this. Basically,
yes.
I'm in a course. It's a data science course. My school is a CTE school, and usually you start like your courses in 10th grade, but this is the only one that you start a year earlier in freshman year, right? So that's one thing. And mind you, I was first in IT, right? That was my that was my course, and I switched to data science. But the problem is they switched me like a month or like a month and a half right after everybody already started, so I was already behind on that, right? So I was trying to like, and they did a lot of work. Like it was a ton of work that I had to make up, and plus like I had to make up the work of the of the class currently. So I was like, what am I doing, what's happening, right? And I feel like at that time I was so stressed already, and to add on to that, my data science course, so our freshman class, that's like first period, they added on another class at the end, English, because they said that every freshman class has to have English, because we need our 8 credits to graduate high school. So not only did I have like the total of doing my data science course and makeup of like a month and a half.
That's a lot of things to understand.
Yeah,
Hey.
and like and the English work, like I was stressing so much, and I feel like
It's a lot of stress on the kids.
yeah. And like I tried to find ways to like deal with it, but like it was so much work, and it like so little time, like I didn't know what to focus on. And plus like I have a life outside of school, you know? Like teachers don't realize that, but like you have a life outside of school, and it's like
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah, exactly.
They're like,
Right.
oh, I have 5 other classes to grade right now,
Right.
and you're like, I also have a bunch of other
I still have
classes
like
to do
5
work
other
for.
classes to go to and to finish tests for.
oh my god.
So Sasha.
Okay, do
how
either
many
one
guys
of you?
you three, like,
I'm
share?
gonna let you guys go, and then I'm gonna go.
Topic.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Like as long as we like stay amongst like issues that affect you, like So like you guys go, because we've been yapping.
No, like that. That's like very understandable. Like the piling work on top of work for like just specific classes, like, and then like, oh my god, like they pile up so much work for the regents, like. But and the regents is like, oh my god, like.
This is that bad. We're taking it this
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
Like,
Is it that bad?
no. The fact that like,
Not necessarily, but when you have to take like 5 regions, you know that you're.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah.
yes,
You gotta
yes,
study
yes, yes.
for all
You know they have a Spanish Regents now?
Yeah.
They're making us take a Spanish.
Yes.
I
Damn.
cannot speak Spanish.
Bro, I'm in a Spanish-speaking household and I cannot speak Spanish. I can understand it, you know.
Oh,
What's poquito?
Okay. Right. Okay, so
Yeah. Let's
all right, let's get back.
sorry, but like that, like, and the thing is, the Regents isn't that hard. It's just that they hype up like the Regents, like they just pile work on top of it. It's just like you need these credits to get to college. Like you need these credits to pass high school, and like I'm currently in an art school where like that shouldn't really matter. Like.
Right.
It's supposed to be art focused, not Regents focused. Are you kidding me?
I just want to go
do you
back
wanna-
to the
Do you
yeah,
want to go,
like,
Emily?
I was gonna like say something.
Oh,
Okay, no, go ahead.
say
Go ahead.
that
Go
and
ahead.
then
And
let's
we're
go
gonna
back
go
to the question because we kind of got off topic.
Yeah.
of course. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Kinda, like last week I was sick. Then I have to miss like 2 days for school. Like when we went to Albany, and then I got sick. Then I have to miss school.
Yep.
So there was like a lot of things that I have to do to make up, and it's ironic because I'm sick, and I have an excuse, and the teachers weren't like even able to excuse that work. They were like, oh, you still need to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
come on, bro, I'm still
Right.
sick.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't work. And also for the regions, even they tell us like we need to pass those regions and all that type of stuff. Yeah, I get it, we need to pass it, but they don't give a lot of support for that. Even if
Exactly.
you ask for it, they don't give that type of support.
You know
Yeah.
what
Can I-
that adds like on to?
course.
It's like the yeah, like do you want to? Yeah, you go. and I'll go after you.
Adding on to what you were saying about how like you were sick, and like when I went through that experience in October, it was like I told my biology teacher, and she knows our biology teacher does not like she doesn't play, but like, listen, ma'am, I'm going through a heartfelt thing right now. Give me a break, damn.
Man.
And I was saying to her, like, is it okay if you can excuse this? And only my ELA teacher excused it, and that's why, like, me and my ELA teacher kind of have like a on and off thing. Like, we kind of hate each other, but like, we also do like each other. So she excused that work, but she was the only one that did, and every other class made me make up that work, and I was like, come on, can you just excuse this? And she was like, no, I will not excuse it. And I was like, but this happened, da da da. And I think it's just like teachers don't understand that we go through our own things outside of school. Like me and Elena are stage managers, and we're head of the theater department, and it's very hard to battle that with schoolwork and then also doing outside extracurricular activities. That's so hard.
You know, that adds on to like relating to our topic, like the common issues like affecting youth is the the fact like this is what we're all saying is it is a common issue. It's like teachers not understanding that like we have school. Yeah, school is important, but like school is not our whole entire life. Like we spend most of our year, like 2 months of the year we're outside of school, right? That's July, like end of June to July and August, right? That's out of school. And then we have like breaks, which is like a couple of weeks and a couple of days like throughout the year that we have break. But like most of the year we are in school, and like I feel like
We actually see our teachers more than we do our parents.
exactly.
If you do, like, if you add up, yeah.
And not only that, because breaks are, for me, I don't even consider it breaks as breaks. 'Cause
Yeah,
even though
exactly.
They give us work, and they were
Right.
like,
Yeah, they give
my
us
teachers were
homework.
like, oh, be grateful that I didn't give you guys work, and I'm like, it's supposed to be a break. We don't need work for a break.
It's like affecting it. Not only does it like affect the mental health of youth, it also like just it makes, I don't know how to explain, like, it makes things, like, worse than normal. Like,
Yeah.
like, our health is being affected because we're stressing about school, we're stressing about our work, we're stressing about, like, other things outside of school.
Yeah, and,
that
like-
are, like, factors that, like,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but we do have to like do this up a little bit. I'm sorry. I do not want to interrupt you guys, but yeah.
yeah, I'll be quick, like 10 more seconds.
Okay, okay.
Basically, yeah, so like school itself is a problem in itself. Like, it's a issue because of the factors within it, and like also some school environments are just like not it for any student, and it's just that, like, plus the work that you have to do on top of that, it's just like it just adds on too much. But yeah.
Right.
Like, it affects our everyday life at this point.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I know other people want to add on, but I'm very sorry about that.
Of course.
We're gonna move on to.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to talk about another issue and I didn't get to.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
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 We got
I'm
time
sorry,
for
I'm
one
sorry.
more. Don't worry.
No, no,
We got
no,
with
no,
this-
no,
Okay, it's okay.
we got time for one more.
We've all been rapping, so like you,
Yeah.
Cheyenne.
I've noticed I've noticed something that's been happening in my school. I'm not sure if it's been happening at other schools, but it's with the kids not taking serious issues seriously.
Right.
And they're making jokes about the worst things like 9/11.
Yeah.
That good boy thing, like the good boy and good girl thing.
Yeah.
Our social studies teacher, she did a whole lesson on that because it was like people. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm very passionate about this.
Yeah.
Our social studies teacher did a whole lesson on this good boy and good girl trend, and like it has a bad origin.
Yeah, all of these, like, I hear people saying the N-word like casually, like
Right.
they're not black.
Oh.
These are white.
Oh.
It's like, but it's like not serious anymore. Like,
Right.
even sexism, racism, like all these serious topics are made into jokes, and
Yeah.
like the LGBTQ, trans, all these like actual issues affecting the world right now.
Mhm.
And especially if we think about the people in like hearing these things, like let's say if someone was like part of the queer community and they heard people joking like that, that would like really harm someone.
You know,
Yeah.
actually, what you just said, like, hey, it adds to our questions. Like, how does like your school respond to that? So like, we'll go around. Like, how does your school respond to that?
Oh, my
issue?
To those
Yeah.
issues that we just
Yeah.
mentioned.
On the topic of
Yeah.
that.
Like, let's really just like go around.
just-
Popcorn.
Yeah.
So my school, me and Josiah go to the same school,
Yeah.
as we've mentioned like 4
Yes.
times. But basically, me and Josiah actually are a part of a restorative justice cohort that we just started, and we meet up with
the
a school.
interborough
Yeah. We meet up with schools like
once a month.
yeah, once a month. One of the schools was MS 266, so on and so forth. And so that's one of the ways our school's responding. But I find that very often, all these other issues are ignored. Like, nobody, a lot of people seem to think that it's just middle school horseplay or, you know, stupid middle school comments. But, like, those stupid middle school comments can
Turn
really
into harsh things.
yeah, can really turn it into something that's harmful and something that can cause personal harm. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
Let's just go around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adding on to what Elena was saying, our school responds to this very nicely, but the problem is our teachers, they take on a lot also because our restorative justice coordinator is a teacher also. She has the only day that she really has, like, her Thursdays are jam-packed. Her lunch is literally lunch and she has to do lunch duty. So it makes no sense that she's working when she's on her lunch, and it makes no sense to do that. That you're putting so many things on top of on teachers' plates when you want to provide that support to students, but you're not providing that to the teachers. And it's the line of like, you really got to support each other so we can all support each other. Like, we can't, like, you have to support yourself so you can support everybody else. You have to think of yourself first, but also you have to think of others too. Like, if I do something, it's probably going to affect her too. If if she does something, it's gonna affect her. We all affect each other, but we don't realize it. And I think teachers they need to plan a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree, totally.
I haven't really gone into like mainly the issues going on in my school and like how my school responds to them. Like pretty much like my school like pretty much has. I will be completely honest. Like I am in a year of sophomore year. I'm in 10th grade. They still act like 8th graders. Like very immature, very like they don't take serious topics very seriously. And like it ends up leading to fights. Not like not the majority of them are pretty much verbal rather than physical. Physical fights still happen, but mainly verbal. And like from what I know, the issues aren't really like solved. Like the one who starts it, like I guess the yeah, I can't find another word. The person who pretty much starts it, like just gets suspended or gets a little talked to, and like it never gets brought up again. And then the kid who's affected, like I mean everybody's affected, but like kid who's affected the most, like they're stuck with that, like they're stuck with like no justice to them, no justice to kid who started it, but like it just never gets solved, and then it just ends up becoming school gossip, and people just end up talking about it. And like restorative justice apparently is supposed to be happening in my school, but the thing is, like I got this one kid, like he's pretty much the majority of every single problem in my school. Kid just gets suspended because
there's no reasonable action taken against it.
Exactly. Yeah. And like restorative justice is supposed to happen, but his parents are supposed to be involved, and his parents couldn't give two craps about him. And so yeah, nothing's really happening with my school's issues. Yeah.
I want to talk something like real quick. The fact that in high school there's metal detectors make us feel like criminals. Yeah. Because even in prison there have metal detectors in every type of way, and the fact that the school has that and thinks that they're gonna help us to feel more safe. That's not true. It makes us go late to class. To be honest.
Mm-hmm. Still can't read that.
I can't read that.
I can't read.
Sorry.
Go ahead. So, I also do think that, you know, we.
Can you just
yeah.
or like bring the mic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, my school was. I was talking with a friend of mine who's a junior, and she was saying how the whole like disrespect thing in our school got really out of hand, and they had to have like an entire day of teaching the kids why this is wrong, right? And you know that's always been such a big problem, and you know kids like not taking things seriously.
Yeah.
I remember in freshman year just being completely baffled by how many kids would call bad things gay, and I wanted to say something so badly. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But like I think I think it's just a mixture of the way that these kids, their home lives, and the support that they're receiving in school, and just things not being adequate. And so I think what we need is like more peer mediation, and more like circle talks. And like my school, we don't have a restorative justice program. We don't have a restorative justice coordinator. Right. And we also have a like sustainability coordinator, right? Which is my physics teacher. And what he told us the other day was, oh yeah, like the principals said oh, you should be the the sustainability coordinator, but you don't actually have to do anything. It's just a title. And
So it's just to put like more publicity on the school, like, oh, we have this, like
We
oh,
have
but
this.
you actually don't take action on it. I
Yeah.
think
It never
a lot of
happened.
schools actually do that. I'm sorry to interrupt or cut off anybody. A lot of schools do that to introduce, like, they try and focus on different things, but they actually don't take action on it.
Yeah.
I know my school even sometimes does that. Like they do certain things and they don't actually take action on it. And going back to, you know, them having to take away like stop a whole day of learning, my school does that every single year.
Yeah.
And we introduced that in Respect for All. We introduced that in 6th grade because students were like treating each other so bad that we had to introduce that certain day.
Yeah.
We had to have a day to say that we have to have a whole school day and stop a day of learning.
Right.
We have to have a day dedicated to learning how to respect each other and know that we have to value each other as one. And students didn't even use it.
Wait,
Yeah.
They literally just went for the food.
wait, raise your hands. Who has a restorative justice program in your school?
That's peer mediation.
That actually does.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
That's the point of it.
that leads
Yeah.
into our next question.
We're going to.
Does peer mediation count?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, wait, so raise your hand. Who has it?
I think, but peer mediation can kind of be like a separate thing. It doesn't
That's not- yeah.
necessarily have
Like,
to be
does,
labeled restorative
But I
justice.
feel like it kind of feeds into
It
like,
feeds-
the
yeah.
process of trying to implement restorative justice
Yeah.
within a community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
But I feel like if you just have peer mediation and not something that's necessarily like, if your school is not necessarily adopting restorative justice itself, you're also missing out on those other things like,
Yeah.
conflict resolution in terms of teachers, right?
Yeah.
Or lesson planning and like things along those lines that aren't just among the peers but are among the administration. And so like having specifically restorative justice coordinators or people who are involved with that, like some kind of council to focus on that and make sure that that's actually being delivered, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, this is something that I'm gonna.
And then
Yeah.
we're just gonna go around and then.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Adding
Say
on,
something first.
adding on to something you said, the like publicity point. Our school does have peer mediation program. They recently did it actually, because I don't remember this at all, but I think I might know why. I was talking about the peer mediation program to some of my younger friends outside of my grade,
Yeah.
and they knew nothing about it. Like they thought it was like a school government type of thing. Yeah,
Wow.
I think they like pulled a bunch of kids from their classes and trained them for a day, but I think the only times that program was utilized was once or twice because of my counselor. My counselor, she's really like hard on these things like since she's been in our school.
Yeah.
It hasn't been implemented before, but yeah.
Because we do have to.
Do you want to go? Because
Yeah, 'cause
we do have to close up.
Yeah, we
but
have to.
say your
So that's what I'm saying. I
number.
want to go on to like the next question.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna open up our last question for today, and then we're gonna wrap up. So our last question is: what programs or policy changes would you like to see in your school? And let's keep it to pretty
Let's
short.
keep it to a minimum.
like,
Keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, specific, but like to the point. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, so-
Oh, sorry.
Can we close it?
Okay.
Oh my.
I'll start.
Yeah, you should start.
Okay.
Yeah.
What programs or policies would you like to see in your school? Ooh.
Yeah.
Programs or policies. I think that some programs or policies that I would like to see introduced is, trying to educate more. Like, we're educating each other to a certain extent right now, but try and push it more to the point where we're not trying to because my school only chooses, because the cohort that we just started, they only choose a little bit of people, which, I think everybody should be able to have access to peer mediation and trying to educate themselves, not just being chosen because of your history with it. Try and introduce others. Don't just do it because they know it. Do it because you want to educate them.
Yeah.
So introduce programs like such.
Yeah, building like allies. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure nobody in my school is, if you've seen this, but if they are, please acknowledge the issues, like, because, we can't just have, like, the issues, like, being heard, just be heard, and just go around, like, as gossip. Like, acknowledge the issues, educate the students about the issues, like, don't leave it in the air.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much all I need to say about it. Like, just picking it.
Now to the DO system, if you guys, anyone see this, I think it's better if we acknowledge that we need to listen more students and that we need to practice more a way to protect us, because even though we're the next generation who's gonna like try to do better for this planet, so I think it's better if we get more help.
Yeah.
Yay! A restorative justice program and restorative justice training for teachers. Because
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love how we just all did that in sync.
Because it's
actually-
true. Sorry.
I was actually about to say that exact same thing, because I know like teachers are passionate about teaching, and they would love to see their like students grow with the restorative justice programs and methods, but they don't even know about them. Like I didn't even know a restorative justice program was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know a restorative justice coordinator was an option.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, acknowledge it.
I mean, I completely agree. My restorative justice coordinator has had that title since I was in 6th grade, maybe even longer.
Like longer.
Yeah.
No, she started that year actually.
Had no idea that was a thing. No programs got implemented. She just had the title. And there was, no one knew about it. Until 7th grade, when peer mediation training was a thing.
Well, no.
So, until peer mediation was a thing, I think that we need to make peer mediation, restorative justice coordinators, and, restorative justice programs known. I think we need to, again, like you said, acknowledge the problem, because nobody's acknowledging it, and we need it to be seen and heard for there to be any action.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So last person, what do you call it? Program, restorative justice program, because my school doesn't even. Not that I've heard of at least. Like I don't think my school has one.
Yeah.
Also, just like not stricter, but more like addressing like issues in the school and not just like putting it up in the air, or like when students say something that's like out of pocket, like actually addressing that. But yeah, that was today. This is us.
All right, I got one more question for y'all.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we gotta do this because we gotta keep things fresh. Hey, this is Jania, and this is our co-founder.
Hello, everyone. Give it up for the youth.
Yes, Jania and I started Circle Keepers 8 years ago. While she was still a high school student. She's about to graduate from her master's. Look at that. Yeah, so this is what's happened. Yeah, this is what's coming to you all soon. In like 8 years, you'll be in the same place. And you'll be sitting there when we're doing a podcast. All right, so I got a final question to end. And before we do that, we want to thank our partners. This is like a parent organization to us because they mother us, they baby us. They're parent supporting parents, and they're a Harlem-based organization. Let's give them a little round of applause. We love them. We've been thinking a lot, basically all year long, on the concept of freedom dreaming, right? From this concept that is a beautiful beautiful concept that asks us to close our eyes and to imagine the things that we don't yet have, but that we need and we deserve, right? And the things that are going to help us get collective liberation. So on that vein, I'm going to pass him. We'll start with Jania and we'll end with me. So we'll go boom, 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 boom. What is your freedom dream for yourself as a teenager and as a young person?
I feel like as a incoming social worker into the world where I work with youth a lot, I think one of the biggest things that I would love to see is just a collective understanding about the necessity of social workers and the ways in which we can bring mental health into the future. I don't think that social workers are really appreciated enough or paid enough. And I think that we need to step into a world where mental health is really a concept that is supported and understood, and not just in terms of like, people are in crisis and that's how we need help, and that's when people need help, but using therapy as really a tool to support everyone in every stage of life. And so, yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking right now, and I have a lot of freedom dreams for the youth, but that's what I'll stick with for today. And great job, you guys. You guys did wonderful.
My freedom dreaming would be
Take your time.
Not too much though.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
personally, for my own goals, like I want to achieve those, but I would also love to see like the youth of today being able to use community, and just generally have better resources for them, for mental health, for education, for safety.
For me, my freedom dream would to be, I want to find my place in the world, just as I'm graduating high school and going to college, and not exactly sure where I'm going, but I just want to find that kind of like collective belonging and that kind of community outside of my own community. That is what restorative justice is about.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think a better society and also more resources for everybody.
Freedom dream. Of course, a better society. And I want to find where I belong in the world and who I am, who I want to be, because I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, I mean, everybody's still trying to figure that out, but I want to find my identity, like what I want to represent as myself.
My freedom dream, I think, is to kind of find ourselves as one and try and build each other up instead of trying to break each other down. Try and come together as one and just be one instead of being divided into separate places and things. So yeah, that's my freedom dream.
So I have like 3 things, and I'll keep them quick. One is not having the transition from frat summer to do I have rights winter, like
Yes.
What do you call it? Also not living in like a world where everything is so like bleak and like what do you call it? Nobody's trying. Everything's just like so basic. So like, oh, if you don't fit the standard, then you don't fit in. Like you have no place in the world. And also like, just having not to actually living in a world where we no longer have to advocate for our rights because they're already there. Like we don't have to fight for these things because they're no longer an issue. There's something that's what do you call it? There for us. We don't have to fight for it. We have it. It's just like there.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
I think my freedom dream would have to be free healthcare in every sense of the word. I think like mental health, you know, I have a mother who has multiple autoimmune diseases, and seeing that struggle of like trying to see, you know, how these medical bills are going to be paid. It's not, that alone is a mental health issue for everybody. And I think that free healthcare is just such a big step, but I think that we can get there eventually.
We have to get there. Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you all. Thank you to Thompson Studios Network for such a beautiful place. And yeah, stay tuned because there's already talk of doing this a steady thing.
We are doing.
I got to share my freedom dream. Well, okay, so I'll share my freedom dream. So my freedom dreaming is that we all can work together towards the collective liberation of each other. My freedom dreaming is that youth and grown-ups, that elders, that ancestors, then offspring, like what's the opposite of ancestors? I think is descendants. That we work together even across timelines, from people who've already passed to people who haven't even been here, for the liberation, the freedom of not of ourselves, but of each other, and that we defend and we protect the human rights and the dignity of each other, and that we do it in joyful community, that we have fun and we like relax and we like, that's it. Cool. Thank you all. Let's go call Giselle for one picture together. Will you call her?
Real quick, hopefully we'll see you guys in our next episode of Full Circle Podcast.
Bye. Thank you to our partners.
I don't know where we're leaving.
Bye.
The camera. You walked in front of the camera earlier.